Hello and thank you for tuning into my video. Feel free to hit the subscribe button if you want to make sure and get any updates from this channel. I will be updating them more frequently. Today I wanted to talk to you guys about it's that time of year. We just got through St. Paddy's Day. I know there's a big St. Paddy's Day kind of run going on where I'm from. So I did a blog post earlier this week and got a lot of traction. So I figured I'd just kind of do a quick video on that and follow up from there. So that's kind of where the inspiration came from for this video, so thanks for tuning in. Hangover cures and the myths of, and is it a real thing, is it not? You know, what all goes into actual hangovers? Why do we get them? How do we take care of them? For the most part, I think most of us have had some type of hangover, whether if it's one too many green beers at St. Patrick's Day or, you know, a little bit too much wine at Thanksgiving or whatever it might be. So anyway, so what I'm going to dive into a little bit deeper here with the blog post, and then I'll hit a couple points here on this video, is a couple of the hangover remedies. Are they a thing? Do they work for everyone? Do they work for no one? I guess you'll just have to try them all out to see what works for you. We all are different people. We all respond differently to different things. So some things that work for me might not work for you, and vice versa. So other factors you're gonna have to play into this is: are you normally a drinker? Do you drink a lot? Do you never ever have a drink? How much do you weigh? All different types of things. Even something as simple as, are you male or female? Alcohol reacts with everyone a little bit differently. So depending on who you are, what your experience is, and just how much you decide to consume are all going to be huge factors in this. So a couple things that I wanted to touch on as far as for the actual hangover cure or not, or whatever it is. I'll touch on 3 points here, and then actually down below here in the description you're going to find the actual site that I have, or actually to my blog, where you'll find more information. I'll actually have everything kind of cut and dry there too, so I'll touch on a couple here today, and then you can find the rest over there. If you have any questions, feel free to comment below, and I'll respond to you as the questions come in. So the first common remedy, we'll call it, for the hangover cure is that we hear people talking about all the time is the hair of the dog. Now, what does that mean? Is it actually dog hair? Well, what it's supposed to be is the hair of the dog that bit you. So therefore, you've consumed too much of whatever you consumed. I think it's just probably alcohol in general. I don't think if you're drinking beer the night before and the next morning, I don't know if you need to drink beer or how that works for you. I think you just kind of go with what you're used to or what you prefer. But hair of the dog would be to have a couple of drinks the next day. So if you have a little bit too much wine, and maybe you don't have as much as you had the day or the night before, but you know, have a drink or two to kind of settle in. Some people think that works for them. Other people don't think it works for them. Some people have never tried it. So like I said, all these things you're gonna have to just try yourself and see what works for you. From my experience with the hair of the dog method, most of the people that this works the best for are people that are probably already pretty good drinkers. So if you never ever drink, and this is the one time in 5 years when you decide to take a drink or have a birthday party or New Year's or whatever it might be, and you have a couple too many or one too many, chances are probably pretty good that the next day you're not going to want to just jump right back on that horse and go for another ride, because you're hungover. So like I said, that one is probably more for the more experienced people that might frequent doing the alcohol more than once in a while. So give it a shot, see if it works for you. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. One other common remedy or misconception or whatever you want to say would be taking ibuprofen either before you go to bed, before you drink, when you wake up in the morning. Are you supposed to, or are you not? Well, it depends on who you talk to, and I'm not a medical professional, so don't take this medically or anything. I'm just telling you from my own experience. But I have read and I have heard numerous places not to take Tylenol, and what that has to do, and you can see more of this in my blog post. I go into more detail, but it's because your body, your kidneys and everything are already working hard enough trying to break down the alcohol that another component in the Tylenol is it's not good for your organs. That's where you're at. So if you do need to resort to something the day of, the day after, from my experience, from what I know, is more the ibuprofen or aspirin type method. Now, obviously, the next day, if you have a headache, take some of that. I think it's safe to say that it should help. The night before, that's kind of up to you. I don't really like to mix any type of medications or anything with any type of alcohol. But that's just once again a personal opinion. I don't suggest it, but who knows? Maybe it works for you. that's another one that you just kind of have to try out yourself. But for sure, the next day, I would have to say it's probably safe for most people that some type of ibuprofen would be more of a pain reliever. So the last one that I wanted to talk to you guys about on this actual video here is vitamin B. Now, vitamin B comes in many shapes and forms. It's in all kinds of food. You can take vitamin B pills. You can get it over the counter all over the place. Now, depending on the dosages and the levels, I've seen those vary quite a bit. But with the fact of the matter is, if you do really load up on the vitamin B the day of, the day before, or before you go out drinking, it's supposed to ease your hangover a little bit more. So maybe not quite as bad the next day. I think the more vitamin B and just the more fluids in general the next day, obviously the more you're going to hydrate yourself, and that is what this alcohol is doing, is dehydrating you. So with me personally, I'm a wine drinker. That is my go-to if I have the option. And a lot of the times that's red wine, and we all know red wine just kind of sucks all the hydration out of you. So for sure, I think the vitamin B would probably be a wise decision for someone like myself, just to get those fluids back in, get things back up to where they should be, and start feeling better. So those, like I said, are a couple of tips that I have from all the St. Paddy's Day people from this weekend, or from this previous weekend. And I know that plenty of people are probably overindulging and having one too many green beers. And the rest of us that aren't at that pub crawl are probably hoping that when we order our next light beer on tap that it doesn't come out green. But to each their own. St. Patrick's Day is all about having fun, and so are these remedies. It's all about improving, peak life experiences, making the best of the situations that we have. Once in a while, a glass of wine might help that for you. I know once in a while it does for me. So these are my hangover cures or tips, or, just different types of situations or suggestions that I have for you guys to try. If you find yourself in that situation or think that you might someday, feel free to share this with any friends, family members, anyone that you think might be able to get some value out of it. And like I said below in the description, I also do have a Facebook group called Save the Winos. Feel free to find that. You can find it from the link down there. You can join us in the group. I'll be sharing more tips and tricks and things like that, and just like I said, trying to enjoy our peak life experiences and have the best time that we can. So thanks again for tuning in. I appreciate that, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks. Bye-bye.